Mixtapes and Tasty Cakes podcast. I'm Bert Lepore. He's Samuel Monte Carlo. We're hanging here with Angry Mike D, and we talk about music, movies, and so much more.
All right, we're back. Another episode of Mixtapes and Tasty Cakes, episode 35. This one, we're talking about the cult album Sonic Temple, which was released April of, I think April 1989, I believe.
I think it's 89.
Yeah,
89. And special guest this week is Greg Gory, sings in Ozzy tribute band, Bark at the Moon. And he also sang in a cult tribute band. So he's our expert cultist.
Oh, man. Welcome to the show, Greg.
Just call me Alistair.
And second Ozzy tribute singer in a week.
Yeah, we're loading them up.
So who are we going to have next week?
I don't know.
We need like a Dio next week. Oh, shit, we have one.
Yeah.
Hey, before we even get into the podcast about we're going to talk about the cult Sonic Temple today. So before we even start that, has anybody seen the Vince Neil thing this week?
Yes, unfortunately.
Yeah.
I heard about it.
What do you think, Greg? What the hell's going on?
Well, he's never been good live. I mean, I've been around when they're at their peak, but I've seen videos even when he was in his best shape. He was never that great. He always sounded winded. Even back then, he was probably too high. But yeah, when singers age, I give them all the credit, especially if they've been around doing it constantly for 30 plus years. It's going to happen. But
Yeah.
if you keep going on and off stage, making the poor band members sing for you at random moments without any cues or nothing, and then the very last song just says, "Oh, my voice is done. I'm gone. I'm see ya."
Crazy.
Yeah, that's right.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah, it was the last song too. It's like, dude, you couldn't just
just talk through it. Just talk through it then.
He talks through it anyway.
Exactly.
Just make the crowd sing or something like that.
Exactly.
They probably don't even know your song if it's not Motley Crue anyway.
No, it was
Exactly.
Motley. It was a Motley song.
It was
Okay.
girls, I think.
Yeah.
Oh, God, the crowd could have done that by
Half of
themselves.
that's
Exactly.
backing tracks anyway at that point,
You know what? And this sounds shitty. And looking back at it now, it's like Vince Neil was the shittiest thing of Motley Crue. And
Yeah, but he was the sound. He was the sound.
I know he was a sound, but looking back now and trying to listen to Motley Crue, he's why I can't listen to Motley Crue. Because I can't take the chipmunk voice, man. I can't take it anymore. It just kills me. So, all right.
Yeah,
My angry moment early.
I feel conspiracy moment, but I actually feel that that's the real reason why they postponed it another year. Because everything else is opening up again. We're seeing a bunch of tours coming up, and they still postponed it to 2022. And I think that's the real reason. They probably had a rehearsal, and they're like, "Bro, you're not fit."
He was supposed to, work with a trainer and everything, and get back in shape and get his voice in shape. And dude, he looks bigger than he did.
I don't know. I maybe it's the angle, but from the pictures and I've seen, it looked like he lost a little bit of his gut. He didn't look like the Abominable Snowman as much as he did before. But he still has to work on his stamina. I guarantee you, if he did some more cardio, he would be much better. That's all he really needs. He gets winded.
Yeah.
I give him props though.
I don't care what he looks like. It's like if he could sing well, who cares?
Exactly.
I don't give a shit. I mean, these guys,
they're old.
60 years old. I mean,
So my point of judgment is, okay, if you're not as good as you used to be and it's kind of noticeable, are you at least having fun? Do you look like you're enjoying yourself and trying? If I don't see that, then I judge you. Hashtag Marilyn Manson. But but when I've seen Vince solo, I think was that M3 the last time M3 he was at? Yeah, was it 2 years ago? Or
2 years probably, right?
Yeah. But I remember, he sucked, but he looked like he was having fun. So I'm like, you know,
Yeah. And the band's
least
great. The band's real good, right?
dude, yeah, Slaughter. I think it's Slaughter, isn't it?
And Zoltan's on drums, right?
Yeah.
I got a good
Danish
solution to
drums.
this then. Give him some fucking drugs.
There you
He'll
go.
have fun, and he'll suck still, and he's having fun.
Yeah.
You know, he
Yeah.
still boozes it up pretty good. I mean,
So
It's probably what's
I
keeping
seen him. I'll tell you what. I seen them on the Dr. Feelgood tour twice, and he was good. He was real good on that tour. At least I thought.
30
2 shows here.
30 years ago.
It was a while. It was a while
Oh
ago.
God, yeah.
you know, I've never seen him live, but everything I've heard live with them was just kind of like, oh,
I've seen Motley Crue about 15 times in concert, and the one time I saw them, it was at Rock Fest, or I think it was in Wisconsin. I took a trip out there to see a bunch of cool bands, and I remember Whitesnake performed right before them. They blew them out of the water, you know, like, because they didn't have any pyro, no stage show, no nothing. And
Right.
that's when I realized that if it wasn't for any of that, Motley Crue would be very lame live.
Well,
And-
I mean, I'll tell you, Whitesnake. I got a good Whitesnake story.
oh yeah.
So this is, I mean, I was probably about 12 years old at the time. My buddy comes knocking at my door in the morning, and he was sleeping out for New Kids on the Block tickets for some scalper.
I do it.
He's like, dude, he's like, I got Whitesnake tickets to film a concert. He's like, at the Spectrum. He's like, come on, throw your clothes on. We got to go now. So I throw my clothes on. We run over there. We were there for about 2.5, maybe 3 hours. I think you were there too, Bert. Bert?
Yeah, I don't know. What you're talking about.
You weren't at
I
the
wasn't
Whitesnake
paying
filming.
attention.
Oh, you asshole. Because you're part of this story. You were somewhere else. At the Whitesnake concert. Video filming.
That was the video that if I could
Yeah,
interject here for a second.
Yes,
Yeah,
please,
I
that you're
remember that.
listening now.
That was the video they were shooting
Below?
at Now You're Gone.
Now you're going, right.
And actually I just started
Spectrum.
seeing my wife, who was my girlfriend at the time, and they were picking people to be in the video, and they had to make out with another girl, and they picked a bunch of people, and I was one of the people they picked. And they picked out this other girl that I loosely knew, and I wound up not doing it because we faked it, but it wasn't good enough to, you know what I mean? Because I
Did you have your
didn't,
hand?
I didn't want to cheat. I should have
Yeah.
did it. My wife's like, you should have did it. I'm like, yeah, I should have.
She's like, I would have done it.
Right? I was like, I should have did it. So I
So-
punked
so-
out.
If
And
he
now
took
you're
it,
back
we
in the
would've got
story.
married.
You did it with good intentions, though.
Yeah. They must have seen that mullet coming. They're probably like, yeah, baby, let's get the mullet guy.
But you know, I'm not the biggest Whitesnake guy, but I'll tell you what, man. After we did that, they gave everybody tickets to their concert that night, and that was pretty cool.
That's cool. That is
Yeah.
cool.
Dude, I know people are probably going to hate this, though. You want to hear better Robert Plant? Listen to David Coverdale.
Yeah, honestly, yeah.
He's better. He's just better at it.
Mhm.
You know
if only
what,
Ray
though?
Gillen was still alive,
I
Yeah.
wouldn't listen.
too.
I wouldn't listen to Led Zeppelin though, because for some reason I can't take David, and he's got a great voice. I
Great
just can't
voice.
listen to him. Can't
Yeah.
listen to it.
I was never a big Zeppelin guy. I
Yeah,
I always get chastised.
I love
for that,
Zeppelin.
but like
That's
I
all
like-
right.
I like their rock and stuff, but to me, they're a little too inconsistent on their albums. Like half of their stuff is like folk music.
Yeah.
So
That's cool though. I think
yeah,
I thought they
I-
did some cool stuff.
It's a
but-
variety.
I can
It's a
appreciate
variety.
it, but when I hear that moniker, a lot of people say like they're like the greatest rock band ever. I'm like, well, half their stuff is folk. How can you really call them the
Yeah.
greatest rock band? Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
their
when
rock
they
stuff is
turned on that
amazing.
electric, man. That's
Yeah,
They're one of those bands that influenced a lot of people. And,
sure.
you know, it's one of those, you know, I think for us guys being a little younger is that we probably like Zeppelin more than we think, but we hear them so much. It's like, we don't need to hear them on. Like I'll
That's
say
true.
any day, and we keep talking about having a show about this. I'll take Black Sabbath over Zeppelin any day.
Oh, me too. Absolutely.
Yeah.
But when I was younger, I probably would have went Zeppelin. I think now I would definitely hit Black Sabbath.
It's the voice thing. I'm tired of the high voice. You know,
Yeah.
I mean, Ozzy's different. Ozzy's fucking Ozzy. Yeah.
I
Yeah.
I haven't willingly pulled on a Led Zeppelin album in, geez, man, 15, 20 years. So
Yeah, and I
I
got the
don't know.
collection. I like them, you know. But
I like them a lot.
when are you
I mean,
going to put
don't
it
get me
on?
wrong.
You know, you
It's
put it
just like, yeah, I mean, I had that box set, and that was like my last 2 years in high school. I think that was like heavy rotation in my Walkman. My Walkman.
yeah,
You hear that
Hey,
Walkman?
you
Cassette
walk when you
tape or
walk.
CD?
That's probably
It was a cassette tape.
That's a cassette tape.
Oh yeah, it was a cassette tape.
Yeah, man. So
it was a 120-minute cassette, so
yeah, it was a long walk. It was a long walk.
It wasn't like that far back. It was a little later in the cassette tape progression.
So we're all gathered here today to talk about one of the greatest records, in my opinion, that was ever made.
I think so.
Sonic Temple. What a great friggin' record this is. And we're gonna break it down track by track. The lineup: Ian Asbury on vocals, Billy Duffy on guitar, Mike Frazier was the engineer, Bob Rock was the producer, and Mickey Curry they have on their drums. Now I know Eric Singer did demos.
Yeah.
And then Mickey Curry, if I'm saying it right, he was the drummer on the record. And then I think for the tour, it's when they got
Matt Sorum,
which I always thought Matt Sorum was on that record until I actually looked at the notes. So I'm like, oh shit.
Guess what? Man, the drums are great on this album.
The whole album's great.
Bob Rock just has something with his drums. Like whenever he produces any drums, it's always perfection.
Yeah, you know his sound. I mean, I was thinking about that today. It's like, man, all the great records he produced, like the one thing that sticks out is the killer drum sound. Like,
yeah,
dude,
Dr.
the greatest drum sound
Yeah.
I ever heard on record. The greatest drum sound is that Motley Crue record.
Oh yeah, Dr. Feelgood, yeah.
No, Karabi.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
That opening,
one.
that Power to the People opening, oh my God. When they say, what do you want your drummer to sound like? I go, this.
That.
You know what, though? For as much as I didn't, I have a new epiphany on Dr. Feelgood anyway. I think I liked it better than I thought I did when we.
Right. When you did
but, dude, the drums on that were freaking wicked.
Oh,
Tommy Lee's a great drummer, too, though.
He is. But I mean, it was just that album, like, really was
just the
mix drums on that. Yeah.
Fantastic. Like, everything was big. My favorite drum sound on any album is next to Dr. Feelgood, but number one has to be Creatures of the Night by Kiss.
Oh, that big
sound.
Kind of Zeppelin-y.
Like yeah.
Definitely airy.
Like Zeppelin on steroids, pretty much. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a great record.
That was part of his I guess his thing was almost like a Zeppelin-esque drum sound.
Yeah,
Bonham,
he was always a Bonham kind of guy.
Yeah, it was just huge. But overall, like the guitar sounded big. Everything was just like big and full sounding. Because if you listen to those other previous Cult records, like they all sound. Each one and Sonic Temple was their fourth record, but each one sounds totally different than the next. Like,
yeah.
It doesn't even seem like a slow gradual change. It seems like totally different each one, but you could definitely tell they're starting to get more, more into just like straight ahead.
Yeah, well, if you listen to the earlier stuff, it's kind of that new goth, romantic kind of sound, that goth kind of mixed in. And then when Ruben came on board, then they went like AC/DC-ish, and then once Bob Rock got a hold of them, all that Billy Duffy cool shit was there now.
Yeah, I thought he did a good. He kind of like blended everything together.
Great job
from each record and just made it times like 100.
Yeah,
it's like bigger.
It's just a great record.
My favorite Cult record's always been Electric.
I like that one too.
Like from top to bottom, it's always been Electric. So I always, thinking about it just now, it's like imagine if Bob Rock produced Electric. That would probably sound even better. It would be amazing. It'd probably be on the same, same level as Sonic.
Actually, what's funny? Love is the one that I liked a lot.
Oh yeah,
Love's a good one. Yeah. It's funny because we were initially going to do an album battle between Electric and Sonic Temple, and I just was like, I don't think it's going to be fair unless unless the diehard Cult guy might go,
actually,
hey,
Electric.
I
was the one ragging on you about that.
You were ragging on it. I was like,
how are we going to do this? Come on. I was like, I'm going to tell you right now, not one song from Electric's going to beat Sonic Temple. And I liked Electric. Don't get me wrong. I like that album a lot.
Yeah.
But I mean, maybe I'm giving Sonic Temple a little higher rate. That was actually the first CD I ever bought.
Sometimes that plays in. We talk about it all the time. That plays in.
Yeah,
it does.
But to me, it just said like production wise, like that. Like, I mean, Electric had some really great songs on there too. But yeah, like you said, if Electric was produced like Sonic Temple, it might have been
different.
Mm-hmm.
I thought Love was a better sounding record than Electric.
I don't remember Love too much.
I think so too. It had a different vibe though. I think it's a whole different album. It was definitely, they were going from Dreamtime, which is totally like post-punk, goth, new wave, we want to call it. And, so Love was definitely, I think it was a pretty natural progression. He's got more rock going on than electric and then Sonic Temple. If you listen to it all in one sitting, it's pretty natural progression when you put it all together.
Yeah, what's weird? I like The Cult a lot. This album, like I said, it's probably my top 10 favorite albums ever. It's on that list. And there are, after Sonic Temple, there are songs I like, but nothing seems to match up as a whole as this record for me.
I'm with you. That to me, that was the last consistent Cult record in my eyes.
I mean, it's so good. It's just so good. And what song I like from them a lot too? That I don't know if it was ever on an album besides the soundtrack. "Painted on My Heart."
Yes, that is very good. Yeah,
was that ever on a record?
That was on. It was on a soundtrack. It was, I think,
seconds or something like that.
Yeah, so something like that.
Going in 60 seconds.
Going in 60
maybe.
seconds. Like
Yeah, I think so. I think it was an action movie or something like that. It was.
Yeah.
I think
the 90s.
Yeah, I think Jolie was in it. I think
2001 it came out.
Okay.
But yeah, around that time, and I think Aerosmith did a version of that too.
Really?
That song, yeah.
It's such a good song, man. I was like, I'm looking forward to see if it's on some vinyl. I'm like, I can't friggin' find it on like anything. I'm like, man, what the hell? But it is a great
2001
song.
was when they had like their comeback record, I guess, right?
Yeah, I think it was Beyond Good and Evil, I think.
Which was a great record. That was probably my second favorite after Sonic Temple.
Yeah.
That was a good record.
I think Bob Rock produced that one.
Yeah.
No.
Did.
Okay, cool.
I think so.
Yeah.
I gotta give that another listen.
I could be wrong, but
that's a good one, Mike.
Yeah, I have it. I just got to give it another listen.
It's a good one. It's a real good one. All right, guys, you guys ready to get into this record?
Yeah.
Okay, we're gonna open up. We're gonna go Greg, Damian, Mike, then me. We're gonna open up with Sun King. What do you got, Greg, on Sun King?
That's a good intro song. I think I really do like that song. I haven't heard it in a long time until just actually like an hour before I listened to everything again to refresh my memory, and that's a really good opening track. I like it. It's good.
Very cool. Damo.
Yeah, it's got a it's a great opening track, but just like the intro of the song is just really cool. It's and like a lot of the Cult songs, I guess it might be like their signature or Billy Duffy's signature, but they always has like that cool guitar melody thing going on in the intros. Yep.
It's like the slate picking type of thing going on. Yeah.
I mean, you hear it in a lot of the songs, like the Sun King in the intro, like that whole melody, and then Firewoman, he does it in that, and even like on some of the older songs, from previous records, it's sort of like his.
That's his thing.
Yeah, She's So Sanctuary is huge with that one.
Oh yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yep.
I mean, you don't need like a ripping guitar solo all the time.
Melody,
just
man.
Yeah, just like some cool, simple melody, and that one, this track kind of starts out with it, and even like the title brings on like the whole, shaman thing, which I.
Oh yeah, it was just great. He sells that well.
Yeah.
He really does.
Like I had no idea. I had no idea that they're a British band. I just thought,
dude, I was saying that the other day. I was like, you would think they were from LA or something.
That's what I was like. Yeah, I knew they were British all along, but
they had that LA feel or something.
Yeah, I thought he was like part like Native American.
Yeah,
I think he actually is.
He might be.
He is. Yeah, that's what I heard. He has some Native blood in him.
Yeah, I think so too.
Which explains his fascination, I think, with the Native American type of stuff.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yep. Mike D, what you got on Sun King?
Yeah, man. I mean, like I said, this was like the first CD I ever bought. And I threw this in, and you just hear that intro coming into it. It's like what's going to happen? It's like that slow build up, and then boom, it just hits you in the face. Such a great track, man.
Yep.
Such a great opener too.
Yeah, I agree with you guys. Great opener. I love the cymbal tapping in the beginning, how it starts, and then it goes into that, like Dame said, this great melody, and pushed in that Billy Duffy signature fucking guitar sound, and then Ian Asbury's silky grit vocal. He's got that. I mean, that guy's just got the voice, man. He could sing anything, and like even the earlier Cult stuff, where I thought some of the guitar stuff wasn't as clean as this, his voice sells you. It doesn't matter what he's singing. It's his own thing. Nobody sounds that damn good. And he's deep, which I love. He's not hitting that high. And look, I like King Diamond and all that stuff, or even the early Jeff Tate stuff. I like all that stuff. But after a while, this guy's kind of like dirty, gritty, but still soulful. He's still got, his highs are soulful. They're not just high.
A lot of belting.
Man. Yeah,
he's a great belter.
Like in Ian Gillan or Ray Gillan, like a Ray Gillan, like that kind of type of singer. Okay, guys, let's move on to the second track. Firewoman, what you got, Greg?
That is the quintessential Cult song. Like that's if you show anybody who's never heard the Cult before, show them that song, and I'd be very surprised if anybody says they don't like it. Like, that. I love songs that are just in the pocket, in the beat, and that is one of those. Like, I just want to stomp my foot every time I hear that song. Like, that's such a great beat. Like that. I know it's one probably like that. Would you say that's probably their biggest hit? Yeah,
probably that, and maybe Edie.
No, I would say Edie, maybe.
Yeah,
close.
Okay.
I think Firewoman could kick the door open.
Yeah. It's still
Edie was like a crossover hit, though. Kind
Sweet Soul Sister's up there too. I still hear that on rotation on the radio whenever I have it on.
It was Firewoman was the. Let me see. Was
it the first single?
First video, I think.
It was the biggest one off this. Actually, you know what? It was the biggest single from this record.
It was.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I guess you can. I guess chart wise, you can say it's the biggest hit. But yeah, like, no matter how many times I hear that song, it doesn't get old. Especially Ian Astbury just belting that chorus.
Yeah,
like it's so good. Perfect song.
I totally agree. Damo, what you got?
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say too. It is like the perfect song. I mean, it's got the cool intro. Again, it's I love the clean guitar sound, and then it kicks in with that cool guitar melody, and it's got the cool drum fill, almost like a drum solo thing in the middle. It's great, man. It's a great song. Actually, it was the first. Being younger, it was the first. It was my introduction to the band. It was the first song or video I ever saw from them. They existed, years before this, but so a lot of the, traditional, I guess, early fans kind of like look at this as like almost like a sellout record, I think.
Yeah.
Most likely.
What's the record that they got big on? It's always like that.
But I don't see this too different though from their other stuff, except for the production. Really,
the production's
I mean,
well, it was a true hard rock.
It's not like I wouldn't call it heavy metal, so it's not like.
No, but it'll get lumped. It'll get lumped into that. That's just the time. Sign of the times.
That's another thing that kind of annoying when I looked it up. They consider glam metal. They're not glam metal.
No,
they're not glam metal at all. Not one bit.
The Colt's always been that one band. Like they're a chameleon band. Like they're very goth with their earlier stuff. They fit in with the bands that are like you could put them on the same lineup as any glam band. Hell, I believe they've toured with grunge bands in the 90s. I actually put on Pandora when I was on a Cult kick. I just put on Cult radio. A lot of Alice in Chains and Soundgarden comes on.
Yeah.
So I guess they categorize them as well.
They toured with Metallica on the Injustice tour.
Yeah, Guns N' Roses too. Actually, Guns N' Roses opened up for them.
Yeah,
that's right.
On their first tour.
But they're one band that even if you listen to their earlier stuff, it's them. Even if it's a little different, it's them.
Mm-hmm. But the video stuck out. They look so kind of like mysterious and everything, and it's just so cool looking with the hat and all that.
Yeah,
they were rock stars, man. They they weren't like wearing makeup and stuff. They were rock stars.
Yeah,
man. What do you got, Mike, on this one?
I mean, I can't say any more about it, but like this was even like a song my mother liked when it came out. Like she would hear me like playing it on MTV and stuff like that when it came on. She's like, "What's this?" She's like, "This is pretty good." She's like, "It's kind of catchy." And I remember actually my buddy's father or stepfather, I don't know, he was like a huge Cult fan. Like we went over his house, and this was before this album even came out. And he pumped up his stereo system, man. He had it all rigged up and everything, and threw on like electric. And that first track was like, wow, that was like my first like hearing of the Cult was electric.
Yeah. That was mine too.
Mine was She Sells Sanctuary. That was my first.
So you were
one.
going back to the Love record.
Wow.
Yeah, that was the first time I heard it. Yeah.
So for me, Firewoman, like you guys said, I'm looking at my notes. Perfect song, man. The intro, the nice build up, another Billy Duffy great hook. Ian Asbury's vocals kick in, and it just takes you, man. He's got so much swagger in his damn voice, and like I said, it was big. I mean, you've seen that video; it was just big, man. It's still a great song. It still holds up till today. It does.
Mm-hmm.
And
Ian's footwork is awesome in that movie.
Yeah. I got a funny story for you. It might have been when they were with they were with Metallica. So I don't know what year that was, but I was probably still in high school, and we used to always try and meet them, where the ramp was at the Spectrum or whatever the hell it was called. I think it was called the Spectrum at the time. So we used to go back in the ramp, Metallica drives by, they're in this like van and everybody looks perfect. It looks crazy. It looks like a picture. So, I seen Ian Asbury walk down the ramp with his girlfriend, and I try and, get him for an autograph or whatever. He's like, yeah, I'll be right out. He never came the fuck back out.
Yeah, I'll be right out.
So I was like, what the fuck? But Billy Duffy was on the tour bus and had me and a couple of my buddies went on the tour bus with him and hung out with him for like a little bit. He signed. I like this. I don't even know words that has like denim jacket that he signed and stuff. And he was super cool, man. I'm like, Ian Asbury, what the fuck? But Billy Duffy was super cool.
I heard Ian's not very fan friendly. Like I heard he does not like pictures, and
seems that way.
Yeah, and every picture I've seen with him with a fan, he looks so miserable. Like it's like he's begrudgingly doing.
Hurry up and get it over with.
Yeah.
Come on, kid.
Well, we back in like probably the late '80s, we went to go see Cinderella, and Bullet Boys and Winger opened up for them. And after the show, we're walking back past it used to be the Hilton.
Oh, yeah.
And me and my buddy, we see Mark Terrain from the Bullet Boys out there. And I don't know if he's talking with a couple roadies or whatever. And we like, yo, Mark, great show tonight, man. Great show. Didn't turn around. Said it again to him. Didn't turn around. It's like, yeah. I could have yelled something nasty back, but it was like, all right, just walk away. He was a fucking jerk off.
He is. Yeah, he still is.
You're like, he still is.
So this is a known thing. Okay.
Yeah.
He's like, he still is.
No acknowledgement whatsoever.
Yeah.
Damon's like, they used my equipment. Didn't even get a thank you. Tell him, Damon.
That's true.
Yeah.
Really? Is that
Oh,
what
wow. So
happened?
you got a story.
Wait.
True
Bullet
story.
Boys use your equipment.
Yeah.
Was it them? No. I'm trying to think. Was it them?
I think it was.
No.
Well, that's the thing. They tour. They don't bring nothing. They
band.
use the band that's under them stuff,
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, they use their back line. But it was somebody. I thought it was the Bullet Boys.
It was the drummer.
It was Jimmy DeAnda.
Yeah. He was with another band though.
Good stuff getting Damo in trouble.
Yeah.
You're welcome.
Thank you very much.
Thanks for nothing.
Okay, guys, moving on to the next song. American Horse. What do you got, Greg?
There are times when I really like this song, but then there are other times where I just have to skip it. Like it's hit and miss with me. Like I can't explain it. I don't know. It's one of those. I guess it's where Ian's mysticism comes through. How he's really into that stuff, and I don't know. It kind of loses me a little bit on that song. But I do like it on some days. I guess it all depends on my mood.
Right.
What do you got, Damo?
Yeah, pretty much the same for me. I mean, sometimes I'll skip it, but I mean, the album is so great. I mean, you can listen to every track top to bottom, but if I'm going to skip a song, this is the first one I'm going to skip. But yeah, another great song with another cool guitar intro too.
Yeah.
Another song that starts out with guitar, and actually a lot of them start out with a cool
Guitar riff.
Yep. Yeah.
Mike D, what you got on American Horse?
Yeah, I mean, I like this song. I wouldn't call it one of my favorites. But yeah, I kind of agree with Greg on this one. It's like, sometimes you really like it, you'll listen to it. Other times you'll go past it.
Yeah, it's not the best one on the record. Yeah,
I like it. I mean, it's definitely not the worst.
No, Dame took the words out of my mouth with that. The guitar hook. The guitar hook's great. The melodies are really, really good. And, The vocals are good. It's a little dreamy. It's got that dreamy kind of vocal thing going on. A little trippy, but I like it. It's not the best song off the record, but it's far from the worst song too. All right, guys, moving on. Edie, what do you got, Greg?
I used to thought it was Eddie. I looked at it. I was like, it says Eddie, like
Eddie Kyle.
But yeah, I love. Not when she said Eddie instead.
Eddie Kyle Baba.
I think it's a beautiful song. I think it's fantastic. And of course how it picks up at the end with a crescendo with saying "Ciao, baby" and whatnot. It's such a good song. Of course at the time it was essential to have a ballad if you were a hard rock or metal band at the time. So they definitely hit the nail on that one.
Yeah, the format was your third song maybe was the ballad, something like that was the format at one point.
I think it was hard rock the first one, second was the ballad, and the third was whatever's to keep you still a hard rock fan.
and it was the second one too.
Yeah.
It was the second one was the ballad.
Mm-hmm.
And then the third one, hey, we're going to try and get what we could out of the third one.
Yeah, I think it's like, okay, we still have to tell everyone we are still a hard rock band. So I guess Nelson missed that memo.
Yeah. They really can't live without your love and affection.
Exactly.
Nelson. Oh,
I don't understand.
Them two broads were great.
Great hair. They are very talented, but I never understood why they were associated with the quote unquote glam metal bands. I don't get it.
I think the look. I think because they had that kind of look. All right, we can probably get you in this. You got the look.
It was more like the New Kids on the Block to me.
Yeah.
It was like a two-man boy band.
Yeah.
It was like 80s Everly Brothers.
I did buy that record. I honestly did have that record at one
Nelson, now I might be a little naive right here to this one, but who was their father? He was
Ricky Nelson?
Ricky Nelson.
Ricky
Okay.
Nelson.
Was it Ricky? Okay.
Yeah. Yep.
I knew that because they had some, of course they had some kind of in on the industry there too. So
yeah. Yep. He was on I Love Lucy. That's a different Ricky. Yeah,
the other one.
The other guy. Hell of a bongo player. Hell of a
Ricky Ricardo.
Yes. Damo, what you got on this one?
Yeah, I mean, it's considered, I guess a lot of people consider it a ballad. I guess it's the closest thing to a ballad they have. I wouldn't really consider it like a true ballad, but it is.
It was a power ballad.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't even know if I would really consider that. But
his voice is just so good.
It's the closest thing you're going to get to it,
Yeah.
It wasn't gushy, like it wasn't like
right.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Actually, it's kind of sad, and I think it's about Warhol's wife or girlfriend, whatever.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, in the lyrics, Warhol's darling queen. That's
okay.
I believe she committed suicide. I think that's what it's about.
Oh, wow.
I think so. I have to look at the lyrics again. It's been so long since I've
That's pretty interesting. Definitely interesting, man. Yeah.
I mean, if anything, this is one that I would usually skip over because
really,
because the two tunes after this are like make the record for me.
Really?
I constantly like the ones after this. I just
this song was played so much, so
it's great though. It's great. Yeah, it's not that I dislike it. How
about you, Mike D? What you got on Edie?
Yeah, I mean, not much more really to say on this one. It's probably their best written song. We said maybe Firewoman. I think this was their kind of masterpiece right there.
Great freaking song.
And just like Led Zeppelin's Stairway to Heaven, you kind of really, you don't have to hear it again. You heard it so much.
Yeah. Guess what? It might be one of my favorite songs of all time. That's how much I like this song. I love the guitar. The guitar in the beginning is great. His voice is ridiculously good. I mean, it sucks you in, man. It just, as soon as you hear him start singing, it sucks you right in. And then the strings kick in. It's just so well done. Like you said, the way it builds up, and it's probably another perfect song. If I wrote a song like that, I'd be pretty friggin' happy. You know what I mean? Yeah, great song, man. Great song. And still, it don't sound dated to me. It's another song that this whole record, it really don't sound dated.
It's timeless. Yeah.
It is, yeah.
Definitely timeless. moving on to another really, really good song. Sweet Soul Sister. What do you got, Greg?
That song has staying power. Like going with what you just said, it's timeless. That's a perfect example. Like you can listen to that and it doesn't matter what era, whatever flavor of the month it is, it can get anybody into it. And I don't know, his voice is amazing. Ian Astbury's voice is great on that. That's actually a pretty hard song to sing.
Yeah.
Like the that and Firewoman are probably the two hardest ones. And I love the little groovy part, the little interlude, foot tapping music. It's great. I love it. I think it's on the radio too.
Yeah, it was definitely on the radio.
Yeah, I love this tune. I mean, another great intro.
That piano or keyboard intro is
it's got this cool
great.
like
it's like the Doors vibe.
I could see like Ray Manzarek playing like the intro to this or something.
Yeah.
Such a cool tune. But like this one and Soul Asylum after this,
it's another great.
They're like brother sister tracks to me. It's like 1A and 1B. Like it sounds like, I don't know, if it was a concept record, these two could be,
linked
just
up.
Like they're kind of similar, like in the tone and the mood. I feel like they got like this epic kind of vibe to them, and they're like this one and the other one are two favorite songs on the record.
Yep. What do you got, Mike D?
Yeah, it's just another great track that I really can't add anything to.
Yeah, it's fucking great. Man, another awesome riff after that intro. His voice got the perfect scratching power. It just does. I mean, I'm going to say it through the whole thing that his voice is just ridiculously good.
He's one of my all-time favorite singers, dude.
He's so
his
good.
Voice is great.
He's so good. And I've tried to rip him off 1,000 times and still will try. And he's got so much power in his voice, but he don't overdo it. Like he knows, he don't hit that note that you're like, oh, which makes it not dated. It just sounds soulful, but gutsy enough where it's not soulful,
He picks
like
his
that.
spots.
Exactly. It's like having like a good R&B singer that knows how to do a run, but don't do too much. They're going they're not doing all that crazy fucking.
Take notes, Beyonce.
It's like all that fucking 40% of that is just unnecessary.
Yeah, it's like vocal Olympics or something.
Yeah, it's not even if it's done perfectly. I don't. They don't do shit for me.
It's not impressive to me.
No.
I don't care.
Hit your sweet spot and get the fuck out.
Exactly.
Leave him hanging, man. Yeah. All right, guys, we're gonna move on to the next song. Soul Asylum. What you got, Greg?
I'm sorry, Damien, and anybody else who loves this song, but I hate this song.
No,
I hate it. To me, it's the worst song on the album.
Oh no! I'm going to need a chew.
I get bored. I want to sleep every time I hear this. It's 7 minutes. It's 7 minutes of somber.
7 minutes and 26 seconds.
Yeah, it's a little too long. Just make that extended outro. Like it is a good sister song to Sweet Soul Sister, but just make that an extended outro or something like that on the single. Screw it. I could go without.
Wow, I was surprised. I was definitely surprised. Damo, what you got?
I love it, man. I love it. It reminds me of, and I'm not a Zeppelin guy.
It reminds you of Kashmir. It does.
Yeah,
it does. And I even kind of ripped it a little bit on an older song, which I might
have been in there with you a little bit on that one time or another with that one. We're bringing that one back.
So I love this tune, man. It's and it's long.
Yeah.
7 minutes and 26 seconds, but it definitely serves its purpose, man. It's just so like epic-y sounding, I just love it.
Nice. Mike T.
Love this track, man. The intro, what was it? The heartbeat in the beginning.
Yeah,
kind of like. Yeah, I have a special spot for this song.
It's so good.
I don't necessarily listen to it all the way through. It is a bit long, But that intro, man, that's just like another one with the intro here.
The intro's a great one, right?
It's just
They're the kings of the intros.
Yeah, man. It's funny that this song, anybody that's Dame's been around me 1,000 times. If you ever see me do a warm up at a sound check, if I'm just doing like a vocal check, you get 3 songs. I always do the beginning of Dead and Bloated. I do the beginning of this, and I do the beginning of Black Number 1 from Typo. Nice. They're like the 3 little vocal things I always
get the high, mid, and low.
Yeah, dude. It's funny because everybody's probably like, "Oh, here he goes." I'm like, they're probably like, "What the fuck?" Here he goes again.
Been hearing it for 20, 25
20.
years.
You've been here for almost 30 years, Dane. I have to switch it up now. I got to come up with something different.
Yeah, I always remember that.
It's funny, man. But I love this song. When he comes in, who would break a butterfly on the wheel? Oh my god, it's just fucking. It's a voice. Voice just sucks you in, man. It just sucks you in. It's got the cashmere feel to it, like Damo said. Yeah. Great bass line. I love the bass line. The do 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 bass line.
It's almost like a lead, almost like a lead guitar.
Oh, it's so good, man.
Yeah.
And it's like fucking Asbury's giving you, or Asbury, I don't fucking say his name. He's giving this sermon. He's fucking sucking you in. Great tune, great tune. Moving on to the next one, New York City. What you got, Greg?
I love this song. Like that, it's just an ass kicker. It's awesome. I mean, I think this will be a good. I think they did open up with this song on the Sonic Temple tour. I wish they kept doing that. That's a great opener for a concert. Just rip right into it. Like it's just badass. Yeah, I love this song.
How about you, Demo?
Yeah, it's cool, sleazy tune. Definitely the perfect song to play in the sequence after the previous two. It's just
to get it going. Yeah.
Wakes you back up.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, but it's cool, like sleazy feel, and even like the lyrics, it's kind of like, makes you feel like New York City back in, the 80s, like the old grimy New York.
It's back, baby. It's back.
It's dirty again.
Yep.
Good.
Good. Yeah, good.
No, not good. But
what do you got there, Mike?
Great track, man. Like Hell's Kitchen is the DMZ. I ain't never coming back. I want to know, did they ever go back?
I'm sure they want to get paid. They went back. What does DMZ mean? I don't know what that
Demilitarized
means.
zone.
The fuck's that mean?
A demilitarized zone. It's like just chaos.
Okay.
Like
I have no fucking clue.
Yeah, it's
anything goes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Anarchy, chaos.
I learned today too. I always wondered that myself.
Yeah. I was like, what is DMZ? I don't know.
I was today's year old when I.
Yes.
Yeah. Pretty interesting.
Or years old.
It's a punky little jammer, this song.
Mm-hmm.
Is. And
I think this got some radio play too.
I don't know. I think the whole record probably did at one point. And Iggy Pop sang backing vocals, I think, on this too.
Did he?
I think he did.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yep.
I was today years old when I learned that too. This song, this song's educating me.
Yeah, man. DMZ.
That's funny.
Yeah,
Iggy Pop.
Yeah, Iggy Pop.
New York City.
DMZ, wasn't he a rapper?
Yeah, DMZ.
He ran a lot. No, wait.
Great song, man. It's a mover. It's definitely a mover. And like I said, opening track. It's a great opening track, man. Okay, guys, moving on to the next one. Atomic Blues. What you got, Greg?
This one's, I like it. I mean, it definitely has that blues vibe to it. I think it's a good, I don't know, like after New York City, to be quite honest, I kind of end it usually at New York City. Like
it falls off a little bit. It does.
It does. Like I think at that point they were kind of doing a little filler a little bit. So, I mean, so I'm going to try really hard to find something to say for the last couple of songs, but like it's okay. It's a decent song. If it's on and I'm just doing something, I'll get into it a little bit, but yeah, it's take or leave.
Gotcha. Demo.
Yeah. It's got like a Zeppelin vibe to it. You know, I could definitely hear like Kingdom Come do
yeah,
who Bob Rock
yeah.
produced
Yeah.
that record too. But it sounds like you know, it's like second rate Zeppelin kind of, you know. But yeah, like what Greg said, same thing. Like towards the end, after New York City, it does kind of fall off, you know,
Yeah,
a bit. You know, there's a reason why they're at the, you know,
they're at the bottom.
Yeah,
Yep.
the record, but you know, still, you know, a good tune. It's got a cool, you know, the riff is, you know, it sticks in your head. You know.
Yeah. Yeah. What do you got, Mike?
Yeah, I mean, you say it tails off, but it's like even the production's great on it, and that's
The production's stellar on the whole thing.
That's what keeps it. So it's like if the production wasn't as good, maybe I would skip it, but it's just so good, I'll just let it go.
For me, you know, it opens up with like this glammy riff, sort of glammy riff, right? So it opens up with this riff, and the cool thing about the song is that Ian Asbury goes the opposite way, which I love. I love when somebody has like a glammy riff and he does something totally different. You know, it could have went Poisonish if he went a different way, and he didn't. He went his way, and it made it a pretty cool song. Not one of the best songs off the record, but it's okay. It's not bad. Moving on to the next song, Soldier Blue. What you got, Greg?
Honestly, I forgot about this song. I completely forgot about it. I wish I had more to say. I guess my expertise is losing credibility here.
Well, the chorus is good, and you know, it's
I mean, yeah.
Damo, what you got on Soldier Blue?
Yeah, the chorus is definitely memorable. Like,
Yeah,
you know, Automatic Blues, I don't remember the chorus, but I remember like the guitar lick, you know, but this one I remember the chorus. I don't remember anything else about it.
that's pretty much
yeah.
How about you, Mike?
Probably one of the least memorable on the album.
So I'm not alone here. Okay.
No, I mean, I'm not going to say it's terrible. I mean, if it came on right now, I wouldn't be upset, but it's just not one of my, you know, most memorable on the album.
Yeah, it's an okay tune. The chorus is good, and the drum pattern in the beginning is kind of cool.
Like, it doesn't scream to me, turn this off, you know? It's just, like, nothing on this album really screams turn it off.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Yep. We're going to move on to number 10, Wake Up Time for Freedom. What you got, Greg?
This one's kind of odd to me, this song. The beginning of it makes, for some reason, it reminds me of the band Dead or Alive.
Okay, yeah.
I'm a big fan of Dead or Alive, you know, You Spin Me Around and whatnot. And I like a lot of their other hits too. And they have a lot of songs that sound a lot like this intro.
What was the singer's name? Pete Burns, maybe?
Yeah. And he actually kind of has that, maybe they're from the same area, because he kind of has that same tone that Pete Burns had. So it reminds me of a little bit of if Dead or Alive did rock music, that, you know, at least from the intro of it, you know, it always reminded me of. Yeah, so it's a pretty cool tune.
Damo?
Yeah, this is one I don't like this tune. You know, I don't like the intro. You know, thank God it's the last track, because I usually.
There's one more track after this.
There is one more.
Yeah, there's one more track.
Well, for Damien, this is the last track.
Damien,
the last track for me.
Checked out.
I guess, you know, unless you're talking about the bonus tracks.
Whatever was on the red, I don't know. Whatever the extra, maybe it was an extra one.
So, but wait. Now I'm confused.
I got one more track.
I have one more track too.
Medicine
Man.
Yeah.
Medicine Train.
Yeah, Medicine Train.
Yeah.
What you got, Mike, on Wake Up Time for Freedom?
Just, you know, it's an all right song.
Yeah, it's all right.
It's all right.
I'm with you. It's all right. A little chanty in the beginning. It's okay. Okay, last song on the record, Medicine Train. What you got, Greg?
I think it's a pretty decent closer. You know, like I mentioned, like after New York City, as you know, we've all kind of just witnessed it. This from our thoughts, it is a little forgettable, but I think it kind of gets back into the swing of things with this one. I do like the harmonica and the guitars in it. Great beat too, and it's a good crescendo at the end as well. So I think it's a decent closer considering the company it was in after New York City. You know, kind of brings it back around a little bit.
Damo?
Yeah, I got nothing because I kind of forgot that it existed. And probably because you can thank Wake Up Time for Freedom. I usually
You checked out.
turn it off. So,
It's like, I'm done.
yeah, that's all I got.
Mike D.
Yeah, I mean, it's a solid ender for the album. Usually, I mean, a lot of albums, at least back in the day, used to put the shit song at the end.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's an okay song. I mean, we got hit with, like, you listen to the record, you get hit with like 7 off the bat. Boom. So it's okay if it fell off a little bit. It's hard to be that consistent.
You got to remember, this album was almost an hour long, 53 minutes, something like that.
It was pretty long.
So
it was pretty long. Yeah, man. So, wrapping up the Cult Sonic Temple. For me, great record. Definitely on my top 10 forever, probably. It's one of those records for me.
Yeah.
And, I love it, man. How about you, Greg?
Oh, it's great. I'd rank it as my second favorite Cult album. It's a great transition, or I guess successor to Electric. It was definitely Cult at their peak. And everything. They found their niche. It was perfect timing for them in popularity. They were doing arenas, like headlining arenas all over the place. So, dude, like, it's definitely a golden era for the Cult.
Definitely, I agree. Damo?
Yeah, it's I'm with you. It is one of my favorite records. I mean, just great tunes and great production. It sounds great, still stands up, and it actually is the record that got me into them. I discovered them, the previous records, and after that, and saw them live a few times. So,
Mike D.
Yeah, just a great album. I could probably put this in my top 10 easily. I don't know what place, but easily in my top 10.
Yeah, man. Sonic Temple.
And maybe I'm giving it a few extra points because it was my first ever CD bought. But
like we say, that does play. It does.
That matters too.
It does.
Timing, like the cliche stands true. It's a soundtrack of your life. Brings you back to a certain point, and
But I mean, there's a lot of stuff from back then I can't listen to anymore. Like there's a lot of bands that I liked back then a lot that I'm like, I hear it now and I'm like, man, turn it off. Like I can't listen to Rat anymore. I can't really listen to, like, it's something about the voices, man. Like, that's what kills me for them. It's like, like it's like everybody has to, like, a lot of bands back then had to put on this like cheesy, high pitched, squealy.
That's if you wanted to get a record deal, that's what you did.
I understand that, but Ian Asbury did. Like, that's what makes this album.
There's
like,
greatness.
He went through that era and did his thing instead of like trying to like scream and with the rest of the bands or do that.
Yeah.
What was that? The diamond cutter voice or whatever they were.
Like grittiness, whatever you want to call it.
Am I saying it wrong or something? I'm
siren
going back
voice,
on memory.
Yeah. What's your description of the Vince Neil voice again?
Chipmunk. The chipmunk vocals.
All right, guys. So Sonic Temple, timeless record, and another Bob Rock classic. We'd like to thank Greg for coming on.
Thanks for having me, guys. It was fun.
Awesome.
Well,
We're going to do it again.
Thanks for coming, man.
Mixtapes and tasty cakes. Later. Bye.